còn nãy nên
All right, and then let's see. I'm going to do my little Facebook share. My dog is here. All right. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and ask you to mute.
Oh, right. Okay.
I can mute you. There we go. You're muted. And that way it's okay. So we are. Let me get there we go. Back to Facebook sharing. Just taking a moment here to make sure I'm sharing directly in the group. That way, anybody who's in the group will be able to go ahead and join us. All right, we're about to go live. It's preparing the stream. Zoom and Facebook are connecting, and the magic of internet is happening. Okay, we are definitely on the live broadcast. Fantastic. The Zoom room is open, and so those of you who are joining us from our Facebook group have a link, and all you have to do is just press that join, and you're right here. It kicks you right here because I connected it. And then also, if you somehow are opening up the Facebook group and you scroll down, you'll see us broadcasting right there. So welcome. So excited to start this off. I'll just move back to my mat in just a minute when we start, but I just wanted to introduce you to what we're doing and how and why this energy is such a valuable time to meditate. We have November 11th, and there's something in that throughout history, throughout the ancient texts. There are different portals throughout the year that the cultures who are highly attuned to meditation, who are highly attuned to the surroundings and to the effect of the stars and to the effect of nature and the changes of the seasons had. And things were happening at these particular times. And so right now it's this portal, this 40 days that kind of opens up toward the winter solstice. And so our body is completely in tune with what happens in the environment. Just think of how much you're affected when the seasons change, when there's more rain or there's more cold or there's more snow or there's more sun or there's less water, there's less dryness. Our whole entire system is affected. And so beyond that, beyond those very obvious things, there are different electromagnetic wavelengths that are going on between the earth, between the sun, between the other celestial bodies, the planets, the stars out there. And there is a movement and an alignment, and we are directly affected. Now, if we have this awareness and this clarity of what's going on, and when we meditate, when we do yoga, we're aligning all those inner centers, the chakras. You've heard that. If you've ever experienced yoga or haven't experienced yoga, you've probably heard the word chakra. You know, what is that? What is it? In physical body? It's a nerve plexus of the entire nervous system, and it comes together. And we have 7 within the body, going from the root to the navel point to between the navel point is the solar plexus, just under the ribs, the heart, right, where the heart, the lungs, the whole cardiovascular system, the throat, and the thyroid gland is right here, and at the center of the chest where the heart is, the thymus gland. And then we have the third eye, we call it the pituitary gland here, and at the top we have the crown and the pineal gland. And now each one of those centers, there's a physical gland of the body. Now the glands, are secreting the hormones. The hormones are what cause our moods, our energy level. Everything about this whole body is animated by that hormone distribution. So there's a very physical response that's going on when we align the chakra centers. So that's what we're doing. And so we're going to do it in Kundalini style. That's what I teach. I'm just going to step back here on my mat. And we're going to do, I originally thought, well, we're going to do 11-minute meditation because there's something that happens that shifts over in the body when you're doing a focused 11-minute practice. But we're going to actually do 3 little practices, and each one of them are going to be 3 minutes. We're going to do something to warm the body up and physically align the body. We're going to do a breath exercise. We call that a pranayama. And that's going to start aligning these subtle body channels, the left and the right, going right, back and forth, left and right hemispheres of the brain, left and right sides of the whole, the body, and connecting with the spine, connecting with the left and right hemispheres of the brain, and connecting with the whole electromagnetic field. And we call that the Pinga and the Ida, the Pingala and the Ida. And that's really balancing the left and right, with the left is we consider feminine, the right is masculine. So this whole receptive energy, nurturing energy, this whole masculine, active energy. And we always want to keep that balanced. And that's what we do when we do the breath work. So we're going to do 3 of those practices. And then we're going to have a moment of relaxation and focus and kind of moving into that meditative space. And Kundalini, we always warm up with a chant. It's Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Now, chanting is a sound vibration, and it's also the same idea that I was talking about, where you're trying to align the chakras. So there are all of these energy waves, these electromagnetic energy waves, and the sound current kind of moves in. And if we focus it on the inside, what we're really doing is we're trying to balance each one of those energy centers. And it's sending a signal to our body. It's sending a signal to our subtle body that we are preparing to meditate. And we're bringing ourselves inward instead of being focused outward. Now, what happens when we're focused outward? The mind becomes distracted. The mind becomes moving into anxiety much, much more quickly. It becomes more susceptible to move into anger and action and reaction. So right now it's a space to practice going inward, focusing the body, aligning the energy centers so that the mind isn't taken away when we're in those moments that we might normally be drawn into anxiety, overwhelm, anger, intensity. So we begin right here at the center, and you can be sitting down like I am on a mat if you have that space. But let's say you're at the office, or let's say you're not in a space where you can sit like this. You can be sitting in a chair and just kind of make your spine come back, align with the chair. Or if you're sitting like this, just feel this lengthening of the spine. Now we start and rub the palms together. One, if you're in a cold area like I am, it creates some heat in the palms. And you want to feel that heat. But on a very physical level, on the inside, it's balancing the left and right hemispheres of the brain. It's balancing the nervous system. It's stimulating the nervous system. There's a whole energy that goes beyond the fingertips. It moves out into that space around you. And it goes through the arms, through the heart, through the spine, up to the brain. And it's connecting that energy. All right. Now press the palms together. Close the eyes. Bring your awareness to the palms. Feel that energy moving back and forth between the palms. And now you're going to press the thumb knuckles just right into the sternum of the chest. And you're putting pressure on that thymus gland. So this is the sternum right in the center. And I'm not really pressing in so far because my microphone is there, but you go ahead and press in. Just enough pressure not to bruise. And so you're putting pressure on the thymus. You're activating the thymus. Now you bring your eye gaze up to what we call the third eye, the brow point. This is the pituitary gland. And when the eyes are gazing up at the pituitary gland, you're putting pressure on that gland. See, that's how we begin stimulating and aligning the chakra system of the body. Now let's take a nice inhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Hold the breath for a moment. And exhale through the nose, and the navel, the belly glides back to the spine. So bring the breath down deeper, not up through the lungs. The breath is coming into the lungs, but it's going into the deepest region of the lungs. So inhale, again, through the nose. Navel expands, hold the breath, and then exhale. Now continue doing that on your own for a couple rounds. lengthening the breath, eye gaze, third eye, bringing your awareness to the breath as it comes into the body on the inside. And we're going to begin in a moment to tune in with the chant. We'll do it 3 rounds, 1 breath per round. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. And what that vibration is we're vibrating, we're feeling it in the root, in the navel, at the heart, at the brow point with the eye gaze. And it's a chant in Sanskrit. Om Namo. I connect to the wisdom and the lineages that have come before this moment in time. All the teachers, all the wisdoms of all of the ancient modalities, not just yoga, but all of the ancient modalities that bring us to this wisdom of inside connecting with outside. Guru Dev is that guru, that wise teacher within you, connecting that source. It's really you connecting to the source, your own inner wisdom. And let's inhale deeply together. Exhale completely through the nose. And we'll inhale to begin. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo 3 times. And I'll prompt you when to inhale and exhale. Inhale to begin. Om Namo. Slight inhale through the lips. Guru Dev Namo. Inhale again. Om Namo. Slight inhale through the lips. Guru Dev Namo. Last time, deepest inhale. Om Namo. Guru Dev Namo. Inhale deeply. Hold the breath. Set your intention. Let the intention just come through for this practice right here, right now. Your intention to clear, release, recharge, renew, repattern, heal, and exhale. Beautiful. And just gently release the hands. Bring the hands into what we call Gyan Mudra, index and the thumb pressed together like this, and just resting palm side up on the knees. Eyes are still closed. Eye gaze, the eyeballs are rolled up and in toward the brow point, that point between the eyebrows. And the body is naturally breathing itself. You just sit and enjoy the energy for a moment. And take a nice inhale through the nose. And exhale. Gently flutter the eyes open. And just release the legs for a moment. If you're sitting cross-legged, just to release any tension. You can rock the legs back and forth, side to side. It releases tension in the hips, the knees, the ankles, and then rotate ankles around. If you're sitting in a chair, just do the same thing. Just rock the thighs back and forth like this. It resets the hips, the knees, takes that pressure off. Okay, so we're tuned in and we're just going to start the first exercise. Now this is what we call, it's a front bend, it's a forward bend, or sometimes we call it the life nerve stretch. Mason, sit over here. All right here. It's not cooperating. So the life nerve stretch is something in the ancient text. It's something that it's for every single day, but for women in particular, it's said in the ancient text that it should be done every 4 hours. It resets the nervous system. Now, why for women? Because women, we take in information, multiple information at the same time, and we sometimes change our minds very rapidly in sometimes that looks as if, a woman that can never make up her mind, or, those very old ways of looking at it. But what really is happening is women take in a lot of information multiply, and we're kind of the masters of multitasking, overly multitasking. And so our nervous system has to be reset morning, noon, in the evening, because in the morning, whether we're at home or taking care of the home and the children, or whether we move out into the world, into a career, maybe we're doing both of those things. There are different times of the day when our nervous system has to be reset. Male energy works a little bit differently. They're kind of just focused on the same stream all day long. And so maybe they don't need to be reset all throughout the day. So this is called a life nerve stretch. I'm going to do it two ways. One way, which is great, is if you're able to sit like this lengthwise. Mason, you're going to need to move, buddy. Let me just move you for a moment. Come here, over here. Come on. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Sit. Lay down. All right. Stay. Thank you. Stay. Okay. So if you're sitting out straight like this, you want the feet flexed, and you're going to reach down toward the large toes. So a good way to do it is to stretch your arms up and then bend at the hips, reach toward the toes. And if you can, grab the big fleshy part of the toe and push the thumb into the toenail. Now, my back went out a little bit last week, so I'm still getting back into my flexibility, and I'm not going to do it this way today. But even if it were, if you can't quite reach the toes, that's okay. Grab the ankles. Most important part is the feet are flexed. Now, the way I'm going to do it today, which is more supportive for my back personally, is I'm going to do the forward bend in this fashion. I'm going to come down, so my back is flat. I'm going to come down, reach toward the big toes. The same thing, we call it a toe lock. With the fleshy part of the toe on the bottom, I'm going to wrap my two fingers, my index and middle finger, around the fleshy part, and then push my thumb into the toenail. And my spine is straight, so I'm pushing my chest toward my legs, and I'm letting my chin pull in, and my head is down, but it's always pushing the chest toward the thighs. I'm going to press my toe into the toenail. My eyes are closed and rolled up to the brow point. I'm going to inhale very slowly, and I'm going to exhale completely. Inhaling slowly, filling the lung capacity completely, and then exhaling, letting all the breath come out through the nose. Continuing that slow breath. Whether you are able to hold, you want to be able to hold on to the toes, if possible. If not, it's fine. That's not the most important part. You can hold on to the ankles, keeping the spine nice and long. Eye gaze, third eye. This is readjusting the nervous system. The legs will shake if there is any toxins in the body. If there's caffeine, or maybe if you have been taking any kind of medications, any excess sugar, you will feel the back of the legs shake. Now, that's not a bad thing. It means that's moving into the nervous system. It's beginning to go out of the body. So let it shake, let it move out. Deepen the breath. Eye gaze, third eye. Focusing the mind. To focus the mind sometimes gets distracted. We're only going to be here for another minute and a half. We're already halfway there, but the mind somehow goes, oh, I don't want to be here. This is distracted. You don't want to have a compromise in the lower back. If the lower back, my back is strong right now, but if I were last week, I would bend my knees slightly. So if you have any kind of lower back issues, you can bend the knees slightly. Keep lengthening the breath, deepening the breath. But to focus the mind in Kundalini Yoga, we focus on a mantra. And sometimes it's in Sanskrit. And this time, always Sat Nam. So Sat means truth. Nam is your identity, your projection of that truth. We're always working in this yoga practice
to align ourselves with our truth. Now, our truth is who we are, is the highest level of human being, the highest level of spirit having a human experience. So joyful, creative, loving, abundant, beautiful, calm, clear. That is our truth. So inhaling the sound Sat, truth, exhaling Nam, projection of that highest level of truth. The elevated experience of your whole life. Now, normally when I teach every week and I work with one-to-one, I play the music. Music is really great for helping support the mind. But on these particular Facebook lives, we're not able to do that. So inhale deeply, please. Exhale completely. Gently bend the knees. If you're standing, come sitting down, or gently roll the spine up one vertebrae at a time if you're leaning forward with the legs straight on the floor. And just come gently sitting in easy posture. Nicely done. Okay. Doesn't that feel good? All right, part 2. We're going to do a breathing exercise. This is called alternate nostril breathing, and it balances the left and right hemispheres. It balances the Ida, the Pingala, the feminine, the masculine energy. And that's on the very big, broad level. That's where we are pulled out of balance, right? Everything about us is right and left, right? So we are very easily energetically pulled out of balance. And this is a wonderful practice. Each one of these practices I'm going to show you today together are the sadhana, are this 40-day challenge we're doing. So it's really only a total of 9 to 11 minutes with us meditating. But any one of these practices that you were to do throughout the day, they can all be done completely and whole by themselves. So we're going to take the right thumb. Now, if you have any kind of, let's say you have a drip or you have some congestion going on, you might want to have a tissue near and just do the best you can. So you'll notice that one of your nostrils is naturally going to be closed off. That's where it's showing you where the imbalances are. And all throughout the day, they open, they close, and they don't open and close necessarily because there's congestion or necessarily because you're having an allergic reaction or you have a cold or something going on or sinus going on. They're opening and closing because of the channels. And you can kind of quickly tell if you're feeling very super sleepy, tired, you can't wake up, the left one is wide open. The right one is much more restricted. If you're feeling like you're just, you're intense, you can't stop moving, your mind can't stop thinking, the left one is closed up, the right one is wide open with that fire. And so what we're trying to do with the alternate nostril breathing is balance so that they are both open and they're both connecting, they're both communicating that you need to be clear and you need to be active of the mind, but you need to be calm at the same time. So that's how we bring that mind into calm but clear as we're moving along. So you're going to take the right hand. We're going to block off the right nostril with the right thumb. And you can have the hands in a couple different positions. I like to do it like this because it's an antenna. These are different energies, meridians that are going right to the nervous system of the brain. But we can also bring them down like this. And this has a different calming effect. So just pick one where you feel you either resonate with either the 3 fingers and the pinky out or straight up like this. And so you're going to block off the right nostril. The spine is nice and long and tall. The left hand is in Gyan Mudra. That's the index and the thumb pressed together, resting palm up on your left knee. And the eyes are closed gently. The eye gaze is at the brow point. You're going to inhale through the left nostril, sipping the breath in through that left nostril, holding it for a moment. And now you're going to close off the left nostril with the right pinky, and then exhale through the right nostril completely. The navel gliding back to the spine on the exhale. And now you're going to inhale through the right nostril, still closing the left nostril off. And now block off the right nostril and exhale through the left nostril. Navel gliding back to the spine, letting all the breath out. Again, inhale through the left nostril. Closing off the left nostril, exhaling through the right. Navel gliding back to the spine. The navel is powering the breath. So as you inhale through the right nostril, the navel expands out. The navel is just below the belly button. And then as you exhale through the left nostril, the navel glides back to the spine. And continue that pattern, inhaling through the left. Blocking off the left, exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. Blocking off the right, exhaling through the left. And continue. Inhaling the sound Sat. Exhaling the sound Nam. Hear that sound vibration in the breath. Beautiful. Continue less than a minute. Refocus, recommit. Keeping the eye gaze at the third eye. Take your last inhale. And as you exhale, bring your right hand down, hand in Gyan Mudra. Exhaling, hand resting on the knee. And just let the breath come naturally through both nostrils, not thinking about it, just letting the body respirate itself. Eyelids still closed. Eye gaze at the third eye at the brow point. Keeping your spine long and tall, shoulders relaxed, face relaxed. Just enjoy this energy shift. And inhale deeply through the nose. And exhale. And just gently flutter your eyes open. Very good. That feels great. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to go into the third part, which is the meditation. Every single one of these, even if they're postures or asanas, there's a meditation happening. So this one is a little bit more physical. We call it Sat Kriya. And the mantra is the same one that we have been working with through the breath, through the sound current of chanting silently Sat on the inhale, Nam on the exhale. Now this one is an out loud chanting, so that's a little bit different. It's a little bit more powerful and it moves from the navel. So think about it. If you've ever known someone who is a singer, they all sing from the navel. It's just the power of the sound comes from how powerful they're moving that navel. And in the human body, the navel is the key to all of our energy. It's the key to our confidence, our creativity, our power, our strength. And sometimes it's overactive and we are moving into that fight zone. And sometimes it's in the flight zone. And sometimes that's needed. But what causes us to move into anxiety, fear, and anger is when the navel is either underactive and the energy is stuck low. It's stuck below in the navel. It's stuck in the root chakra. It's stuck right here and it's not able to move and transform up into the heart. Once we move all of that energy, and that's throughout all humans, it's not just individualized, it's the human experience. It's this soul, this soul body within this human body, and how it is in, how we need to get it in synthesized and working together. So we move that energy up to the heart. That's when we begin to open up that compassion, that understanding. We're guided by that intuition that's at the heart, and we act, we react, we understand, we know from the heart. When it's overactive here and we're drawing on just emotional responses, and we move it up to the throat, if it's not balanced, we're either going to not be able to speak our truth, we're not going to not be able to tell someone how we're feeling, what we want, what we need, or we're going to be jutting out on the other side of the imbalance. If the language is coming out, but it's overactive, it's in that anger intensity mode, we're going to be saying a lot of things that we mean, but it's going to hurt other people in the wake of what's happening and ultimately hurt ourselves. We continue moving and flowing that energy up to what we call the pituitary gland or the third eye or the crown or the pineal gland. When that energy begins to flow up and transform, then we're moving in a very intuitive. We respond, react with love and intuition. We know and say the right things, we do the right things. And that's what this whole Kriya that we're going to do for the next 3 minutes is all about. It's transforming that energy and moving up. So we're going to put our body in a position, and yoga is a position of angles, and it's a position of antenna. So we're trying to direct the energy that's outside in, we're trying to direct the energy inside out into this energy sphere around us. And that's what people are affected by. That's what we're affected by within the body. And those that we come in contact with, who we interact with, they're affected by this energy sphere that's around us that we're projecting out. And so we're really working on balancing that. So if you can, come sitting on your heels. See, I'm sitting on my heels. And if there is any kind of challenges you have with the knees, the ankles, and sitting in this posture, you can do a couple things. You might be able to put a pillow underneath the knees like that. You can sit on a pillow in this way, and that really supports knees if you have any kind of knee energy. It used to really help me when I had some knee issues. I like to put the pillow underneath my feet because the tops of my feet are sensitive, and sometimes that doesn't feel so great when I'm sitting on my heels and my tops of my feet are pushing into the floor. You want to support the body in a way that the body feels supported, and it feels a strength in where it's sitting. You don't want to feel any pain, because once you feel some pain or itching or burning, distracting, it distracts the mind and it takes you out of that meditative space. Also, if you're feeling any pain, it's letting you know your body isn't ready to sit in that position. So you don't want to be sitting in a position in a yoga posture where suddenly you're starting to feel this burning and this pain. You want to come into a place that's supporting the body. Now, the other way that you can do this is, if that's just not working for you right now, let's say you're in a place where you're just sitting in a chair. You don't have the space to kind of sit on the floor in this way. You can sit in what we call easy posture in this way. Okay, so come into the posture, the seated posture, whichever is supporting you. Well, I'm going to talk for just a minute. I'm going to explain the hand mudra, the hand position. I'm going to explain what we're going to be doing. So you can just sit very comfortably, whether you're sitting in easy posture, or you're sitting in your chair, or you're just sitting, maybe you're sitting on your knees and you can sustain that. So the hand mudra, so everything about this body, so we're working with the nervous system, and the way in which we put our hands, the way in which we put our eyes, it's putting a pressure on a particular gland. The hands are putting pressure on a particular part of the brain, or you're activating. So what we're going to do is we're activating either the feminine or the masculine energy of the brain. If you're inclined toward the feminine polarity, you're going to cross the left thumb over the right, and you're going to interlace the fingers in this way, and then the right pinky is going to be on the bottom. So that's the feminine polarity. And then the index fingers are straight up and they're touching. The masculine polarity is the opposite. You're just going to cross the right thumb over the left. You're going to interlace the fingers, and then the left pinky will be on the bottom. You will also have the index fingers touching straight up like this. If you're not sure which way you identify yourself, masculine or feminine, if you're not identifying in that way, just pick one. It doesn't matter. But if you're very clear, just take your intuition and go ahead and put your hands in that posture. Okay, now you can just watch me on this one. I want you to just watch me, and then we'll begin together. So the arms are going to come straight up, and it's like, imagine you're blocking right into this energy source. I always think of you're pushing into that energy source like a light socket, right? And the straighter your arms are, the more it locks into your navel point doing the work. The bent arms, it's going to put pressure on the shoulders. It's going to put pressure on the elbows. It's going to put pressure all through here. Sometimes this is where you are, and you just have to accept and go, okay, this is where I am in the process. Maybe there's some energy channels through here. Maybe there is something happening through the shoulders that are not allowing you to straighten up those arms. You're going to straighten up the very best you can in this way. And once the body has done something and there's been some sort of physical release, the subtle energy channels have been released, this will not be an issue. Now, I remember the very first time I ever practiced this particular meditation was before I was in teacher training. So it was 25 years ago. And this particular meditation was very difficult for me. I did not like it. But what we say in the yoga practice, what they always say in the ancient texts, is that which you're meeting with resistance is the very thing that your body needs. It's the very thing your whole organism needs. And so that is what I found to be very true. Now, we're only going to do it for 3 minutes today. When I started teacher training, I did it for 31 minutes for 40 days. And then again, I've probably done it thousands of hours from that moment in time. And each time it changes. I just finished doing it with a group for 40 days, and it just made sense to continue doing it for another 40 days. And again, I've practiced this, like I said, over 25 years. And always the layers begin to unpeel, the subtle energy channels begin to open up, not just the physically. So in the beginning, it's that physical, your body is working with the physicality of coming into the posture and the pressure on the glands. When we come into the posture, we come into the yoga angles, we're putting pressure on a particular gland. Now with this, we're putting pressure on the thymus gland. So it's opening up this whole heart energy center. How the heart works, how the lungs work, the whole respiration, it's opening this up. And as we chant, we're moving from the navel. So we're chanting Sat Nam, Sat Nam. So as I chant Sat, my navel pulls in, Sat. And as I release it, Nam. Do that with me. Sat Nam, Sat Nam. So I can feel that nam, that vibration at the heart. And what that sound is doing, what that vibration is doing, what that movement of pumping from the navel right up here, is you're opening up this energy center through the throat. So we're clearing any blockages we have about not being able to speak our truth, or we're clearing any blockages we have about saying things that are damaging to others, to ourselves. We're clearing this whole throat energy, speaking our truth, but speaking it with calm and speaking it with compassion is the whole balance right here. And then as the eye gaze is at the third eye, we call it the third eye, the point between the eyebrows. It's actually called the third eye because in ancient Egypt, when they were dissecting and understanding the body and they opened this gland up, it looked like a third eye. It's shaped like an eye right here in the middle of the eyebrows. So we open that up to our intuition. And as the fingertips are directed, there's a whole energy center coming off the crown. This is our connection, our feeling of aha, our feeling that we are held up by the universe. that even in this whole web of life and this whole web of experience, we are taken care of, and we just let go and we allow that to happen. We allow the good things to come to us without trying to fight and trying to get and obtain everything, but we just open up and allow and understand that when we have this, when your pineal gland is operating, you are not in lack. When the pineal gland is shrunken up and not operating, I'm going like this because we call it the crown, but it's this little tiny, tiny grain. It's the size of a grain of rice in the center of the brain, just above the roof of the mouth. If you take your tongue and you curl it up and you push on the roof of the mouth, there's a soft spot. And just above that soft spot is where the pineal gland lives in the body, in the brain. And when we open up that pineal gland, then we have the feeling that we have everything we need, we're taken care of. It doesn't change our current condition, but you no longer have this feeling like you're in lack and that you're fighting for everything. And once you have that energy and you're connected with that abundance energy, things begin to flow to you. Opportunities begin to open up, and you don't have that mindset of being in fear and being in that survival mode. And then you're able to see and make decisions. So that's what this whole energy movement is about. And we have the hands in this position. It's just opening up and it's directing it so that we have that balanced energy field around us. All right, enough talking from me. Let's go ahead and do this together. So I'm going to chant. You're going to chant with me. When you come to my classes, my live classes each week, I play the music, which kind of helps us stay in that vibration. But your own chanting is what's very, very powerful. So I want you to chant from the navel. I'm going to have the cadence. Chant strong and powerful. All right, so the clock is set for 3. You can do this. All right, bring the hands into the position. Feminine, left over right thumb, right pinky on the bottom. Masculine, right thumb over left, and left pinky on the bottom. Either way, both index fingers are straight up. Bring the arms up, lock into the posture. Close the eyelids, eye gaze at the third eye. Don't worry about the breath, it'll come naturally. So let's just inhale deeply through the nose to begin. Sat, nam, 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 sat, no. 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 Sat, sat, no. Sat, no. Sat, no. Sat, no. Sat, no. Sat, no. Inhale deeply. Hold the posture. Squeeze the navel in and up. If you're familiar, pull the root lock. That's pulling in the rectum, sex organ, and navel. Hold the posture. Exhale through your nose. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. Hold, suspend the breath. Pull the navel in and up. Squeeze in like a Kegel, the root lock. Rectum, sex organ, pull the energy up. Stretch fingers, stretch the point of the finger to the ceiling. Now hold it, exhale through the nose. Most important part, very last one. Inhale deeply. Squeeze the lock, navel in and up. Stretch the fingertips to the ceiling. Now exhale, hold the posture. We're just going to hold the breath out. No breath. All the breath, squeeze it out. Now squeeze in the root lock again. No breath. Pull the navel in, pull in the rectum, sex organ if you can, but otherwise just pull the navel in deep. Inhale. And now exhale, gently bring the arms down, slowly. Beautiful. And come with the hands in Gyan Mudra again. That's index and thumb pressed together, other fingers just gently out, palms up, just hands resting on the knees. Let the breath be easy and natural. If it's challenging for you to continue sitting on the heels, just go ahead and move yourself slowly, gracefully into easy posture. It's the legs crossing each other, just like this, if that's what you need to do. But I want you to sit here and just enjoy the energy. Let the body relax, let the energy flow. If it's too challenging for you and you really need a rest, just come lying on the back and deep relax. Eyes are still gently closed. The eye gaze is at the third eye, the brow point. The body is respirating itself. The energy is flowing through all the subtle energy channels. The face is relaxed. The mind is relaxed. The heart is relaxed. Keep the spine nice and long if you're still in sitting posture. Shoulders relaxed, heart lifted, ribcage lifted. Belly is relaxed. The hips are relaxed. The thighs relaxed. The knees. The shins, the calves relaxed. The ankles. Tops of the feet. The heels. The bottoms of the feet. Each toe is relaxed. It's an energy stream flowing from each toe between the toes. The arms and elbows relaxed. The forearms, the wrists, the fingers. Feel your awareness on the energy between the fingers, beyond the fingers. Body continuing to respirate itself without thinking. Bring your awareness to that energy vibrating just beyond the skin. And if you can, further feeling that energy vibrating out a foot beyond the skin. 2 feet. 3 feet. Or if you're beyond in the metric system, a yard, or I'm sorry, a meter beyond the body. And inhale deeply. Exhaling through the nose. And just bring the hands back to the heart center, right where we started. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Sat Nam. Closing out this time together, you can gently open your eyes open. So lovely. I went a little bit beyond today. I felt like it was just coming to me that I wanted to share a few more things with you. I am going to just stick around. Nicola came in, and I'm so happy to have you. I'll just unmute you, Nicola, just to see if there's any questions you have. And hopefully those people who had questions who are in the Facebook group, you can pop them into the comments, and I'll definitely immediately respond either right there in the group, or if you ask me, if you want to do a direct message, if you have a more specific question, I will answer that. We'll be meeting here every week, the same time at 11:45 Pacific Standard Time AM. And I'm going to break down these practices a little bit more. We're going to stick it. It'll be pretty much faster, so it'll probably go no longer than 20 minutes, but I'll be giving you little bits and pieces into each one of these practices. You continue on your own. Find the optimal time during the day for you. Now, there are 3 prime times in the day that will open up this stronger electromagnetic experience, a stronger, let's say, exponential experience with the intention of the practice. So in the morning at sunset, best time, first optimal time. Second is noon, which is the hour in the West Coast of the United States, where we're doing it now. And then the third time is at sunset. So pick a time in the day which works for you. You can blend in, but try to be consistent. That's the key for keeping the 40-day meditation. If you're just joining us and you miss this day, just jump in. If you miss a day, don't worry about it. That's the small details. It's consistency in the practice and coming in. If this is the first time you're doing it, just say, hey, I'm going to do this every day. If I miss a day, that's okay. I'm going to come back and do it later. But I'm going to be here, and there is power. Power is in the magnetic part of the human being balancing. One of them is consistency. And so that's what a meditative practice like this is. It's really fine-tuning that consistency of your whole personality, of your whole being. And so many changes happen. You're going to be changed in 40 days after this experience. You can't not be. All right. So I look forward to hearing from you and having this whole experience together. Sat Nam. Have a beautiful day.